Today, PlayStation is one of the biggest names in gaming, but what if I told you it started life as a failed partnership with Nintendo, a betrayal, a prototype that almost vanished forever, and a deal that changed the face of the gaming industry forever? This is the untold story of how PlayStation was born. In the late 1980s, Nintendo absolutely ruled gaming with the NES and then later the SNES, but they wanted a little bit more power, specifically the ability to play CD-ROMs. So they teamed up with an unlikely partner, Sony. Now at the time, Sony weren't really interested in gaming. They were famous for the Walkman and making TVs, but one engineer there, a guy called Ken, he secretly worked on a sound chip that enhanced the audio of the Super Nintendo, making it better than it had ever been on the NES. Now, Nintendo liked this, and then this sparked the idea for something bigger, the Nintendo PlayStation. In 1991, Sony was ready to announce their CD add-ons for the SNES at the Consumer Electronics Show, but Nintendo had other ideas. Right after Sony's big reveal, Nintendo absolutely stunned the industry. They went on stage and announced a new partnership, but with Philips instead, completely blindsiding Sony. Imagine that. You spend years developing a console for the biggest company in gaming, only to have them stab you in the back in front of the whole industry. Ken convinced Sony into turning their half-finished project into a standalone console. The results were the PlayStation, launched in 1994 in Japan and then a year later worldwide. It crushed expectations with over 100 million units sold, and it made gaming cool again. We had great 3D graphics, edgy marketing, and legendary games like Final Fantasy VII, Tekken, and Metal Gear Solid. And Nintendo? Well, they stuck with cartridges for the N64, a decision that drove Square Enix and other developers straight into Sony's arms. One decision, one betrayal changed gaming forever. If Nintendo hadn't ditched Sony, we may never have had the PlayStation at all. So the next time you hear that iconic startup sign, just remember, it all began with a deal gone wrong. If you enjoyed this untold story, then please hit like and subscribe. And if you can remember your first PlayStation memory, drop it in the comments, because as always, we love to read them.